previously here on Mischief and Monsters, let's see, what did we get up to? Oh yes, our two lovely investigators, Irina and Mercy, went down to the shipping yard for their first real interrogation. Didn't go so hot. Irina had to kind of step in and go full Karen on someone's ass here, but they did get some useful information. They got a name. They went to go talk to Dallas, who is the head leader of the Brightway Motors, of the kind of the motorcycle gang of the city. But they were able to track them down. They got some more information out of them. You got some brief insight on kind of the work dynamic with the hunters, and we all know now that Irina cannot stand Felix. You guys are going to learn more about that later. Then they decided that they wanted to go down and investigate the bridge where the sightings have happened. They found some good clues. They finally got a name, and they learned kind of what anomaly they're going up against right now. And then they remembered, after all the fantasy stories that we've been doing in our kind of personal time, that they're in modern day and they have access to the internet. So they looked up Joseph Start, who they have found to be their next lead. They kind of got some of the lay down on him, and then they decided to kind of call it in for the day because it was getting pretty late. They've been running around the whole city. Irina, being the wonderful mentor that she is, decided to walk Mercy back to her apartment, to which we, or at least you guys, got to meet the kind of mystery NPC, lurking in the shadows. But I won't keep you guys for too much longer. Enjoy the episode.
Dang, I be looking fine though.
Hell yeah.
So you guys are meeting at Brightway?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You... Huh?
I probably texted Irina. And the message probably contained like a couple spelling errors as she was running. And maybe lack of punctuation entirely.
So like how the normal gays text?
Yes, like the normal gays text. Except minus the key spam because they're not on that kind of terms yet.
Are you guys going... What are you guys doing? Are you guys going to investigate Joseph, or are you showing him around the company?
What time of the morning is it?
I imagine it's pretty early. I imagine it's probably... You guys had planned to meet at like 8 o'clock.
Okay. Which is more urgent?
I mean, talking to the guy is more urgent. Talking to Joseph.
Joseph with the 500 wives.
Jojo, not a reference to anything.
Deal.
Shh, Hailee.
Uh-huh.
Not a reference to anything.
Yeah, not a reference to anything.
So you guys are going to investigate Joseph?
Yeah, we're gonna investigate his Joseph.
Irina, do you drive? Do you have like a license and a car and everything?
Yeah, she has a car. She just
doesn't like to.
Yeah.
Valid. City driving.
Also, mostly because I explained this to you before, but since she lives so close to Bright...
Oh,
Brightway,
yes. Yeah, I remember. I remember
people expect her to walk there.
Mm-hmm.
Or take the subway for the little bit that it has to go. And then... since she stays at Jaden's often...
She just goes by subway to
Yeah, she
keep
goes by subways
inconspicuous.
everywhere, so
Yeah.
people don't suspect her.
So I would imagine that you guys would go to the subway station that's just for tech and development, and you guys take it to the Laniton district, because you probably get dumped. Where's my mouse? Like here. So it's like right outside this neighborhood, which is where Joseph is. It's like right above the art district of Brightway.
Okay.
But you guys are gonna have to get some exercise.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get some exercise. We're gonna have to use our legs.
Your leggles. You're gonna
How
have
far of a walk is it? Is it like measured in miles kind of thing? Or is this kind of like a few blocks?
No, I probably would say... I would say it probably doesn't take you guys that much time to get into the actual neighborhood, but it takes you guys a little bit of time to pinpoint what house is Joseph's, and the only reason you're able to pinpoint what house it is because he just has a statue of himself in the front yard.
Of course. Oh, of course.
You guys are walking around this gated community. It's like open hours, and so like the gate was open, and you guys are just like walking around, and like you're just starting to be like, how the fuck are we gonna know what house it is? And then you like get to like the end of the street, like where like a cul-de-sac would be, and it's just one house, and there's a very tall statue of Joseph Start just like in a fountain. Like, this is an obnoxiously expensive looking house.
Oh my god.
Irina nudges Mercy and just says, "Someone's compensating."
Oh yeah, he's compensating for a lot, isn't he? Also, I should have figured he would have been one of those kind of people. To, you know, make a statue. Who makes a statue of themselves in their front yard?
Who makes a statue of themselves these days?
Like...
He's lucky no one's graffitied it.
Oh, he's so lucky. Honestly, what? Who are we dealing with? Who is this person? You know what, we'll find out when we ring the doorbell, huh?
This is one of the parts of the job that's interesting.
I would imagine that, or I will say that you guys are currently standing outside, like, the gate to this property is shut, so there's, like, an intercom that you guys have to, like, buzz into to get onto the actual property.
Oh, fine.
We should come up with a story for why we are questioning him.
Yeah, maybe have some money at the ready. Mercy pats her pockets. There is nothing.
What are you going to do with money?
I mean, he's rich. Rich people like money.
He obviously doesn't need it.
Hold on, Mercy. Your plan is to walk up to the door, knock on it, give him money, and then ask him about his dead wife?
Yeah. Maybe I didn't think that through entirely. I just kind of went with the assumption that if you give rich people money, they talk. I saw that in the very few movies that I was allowed to watch. Well, if we say in the intercom that we're here to on a just inspection, would that fly?
Hello, we are here to inspect your house. Where is your dead wife?
Where? Yeah. That's... Do we say that we're from Brightway? And we are...
No.
No. No.
No.
Perhaps private investigators.
I like that. Why didn't I think of that?
Remember, flash me your badge.
She does it maybe just a tad bit quicker. But not as bad as the one in the yard.
You're getting better, but don't put it down too fast, or else they will suspect you're trying to hide it.
Okay, she lifts it up, pauses for a second and a half, and then puts it down.
Maybe a little faster than that.
A second. Is that better?
You know what? That is better.
Okay, so a full second. One.
You hear the intercom buzz to life, and you just hear an old male's voice just go, "There's no loitering on the property."
We're not loitering. We are... Is it working?
Yeah, I was just checking to make sure because my laptop tried to go to sleep.
We are not loitering. We are here on business. Is Joseph Start home?
Who wants to know?
Private investigators.
You see on the intercom, you see a screen flash to life, and it is a very old man in a very well pressed butler suit, and he just gets way too close to the camera, and he's just like, "Show me your badges." Makes wonderful audio.
I know. This is totally
We gestured.
We gestured for a full second. Up,
we counted it.
Down.
He seems to accept this as the screen flashes back to black, and then you hear the sound of gears whirring to life as the gate into the property slowly slides open, revealing a very lavish front yard. There is a full fountain with that statue that you guys saw from earlier. The ground look immaculate, like something straight out of an old I can't think of any movie ever.
1920s, Gatsby?
Yeah, like the Gatsby.
Oh
just it's
Lord.
extremely well maintained and just extremely lavishly decorated.
What pose is Joseph's statue in?
He's got his one the one leg up on the rock, and he's got his hands on his hip just staring up like he's better than everyone.
He really is one of those people, Irina.
Irina looks underneath his nose to see if they sculpted any nose hairs.
No, they did not.
You'd think with somebody like that, he'd want to have every inch of himself captured.
What did you ever describe his appearance to us?
He's got... I don't know if I did describe his appearance, but, he has...
The way I've always thought of him was kind of almost like a Handsome Jack look.
Kind of.
Handsome Jack's too handsome.
Yeah, Handsome Jack's too handsome.
I'm thinking of generic bachelor with the white guy haircut.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's pretty close to it though.
So this generic middle-aged white dude has a statue made of him. Oh no.
He wears the button down shirt with just the sleeves rolled up. He's got the fancy dress pants, and what you can tell from the statue is really expensive looking shoes. But his hair is well, you guys saw his pictures, but his hair is pitch black, and it's attempted to be slicked back, but it just literally looks like he just, like, took his fingers and just, like, ran it back through his hair, and then he just called it good.
Like my wig right now?
Yeah.
Oh, man. This is what we're dealing with. And who we have to ask about. A dead wife. Okay.
Maybe we'll get some free wine out of it if we play our cards right. Wait, how old are you?
I'm 19.
Maybe I'll get some free wine out of it.
We don't want to be a bad example to the hearers at home.
Irina just doesn't want to be a bad mentor.
Not a bad influence. No wine for the baby named Mercy.
No, she is a professional, and if Booker heard that she gave his,
underaged niece.
Yeah, any alcohol, she'd never hear the end of it.
Booker's a character you guys will meet later.
Oh, yes.
Don't worry about it, listeners.
Don't worry about it.
Are you guys going up to the front door? What are you guys? Are you just guys gonna stare at this statue in detail?
Yeah.
Does it look like the statue is compensating anywhere?
It looks like he's got a huge bulge.
Mercy notices this and she just sighs. Like, that's unrealistic. Wait, the job. Okay, we gotta go to the door.
Yeah.
As soon as you guys, like, make it up the last step, like, there's a little porchway that had, like, 4 steps going up to it. As soon as your guys' foot hits the last step, the doors start creaking open, and standing in front of them is that same old man that you guys saw over the video intercom. And he just looks at you and goes, "Follow me." And he just, like, turns, like, sharply, almost in, like, a sharp military turn, and then just goes off into the house without even checking to see if you guys are following him.
Well, we are.
We are.
Okay,
Lucky
cool.
for this man.
Lucky for this man, we're following him.
So as you guys are walking through this hall, you can, he's leading you back to what you assume would be, like, a parlor room, or, like, a hosting room. And, as you guys are walking through this hall, there is just a multitude of, like, family pictures of the newest wife and these teenage kids that, looks like they're just having, like, the time of their life. Like, they look like they couldn't be a happier family in these photos. Like, there's pictures of them, like, vacationing in, like, Bermuda, and they're on a fancy yacht. There are, like, ones on a private jet, and ones in, like, fucking New York Stadium watching, like, what you can tell to be, like, fucking who plays baseball in New York.
Wait, frick, is that the Yankees? I'm gonna die. If this thing ever gets popular and I'm wrong, I will die.
The sports ball people
I'm
will
pretty
come
sure I've
after
heard
us.
of New York Yankees.
I'm pretty sure it's the Yankees. We're just gonna go with the Yankees, and if it's not, then it's on both of us. I researched NFL. I did not research baseball.
Baseball.
But they're at a nondescript baseball game. You can't tell who the players are.
There we go.
And it doesn't take you guys that long to get to where the man is leading you. Before he opens the door for you guys to step in.
We be stepping.
We're stepping in.
You be stepping. So as soon as you enter this room, it's a like I mentioned before, it's a very big parlor, like, entertainment room where there's, like, a fireplace up against the wall. There's, like, really lavish, like, plush couches. And behind the couches, there is a table with 2 chairs set on one side, and set on the other side, already drinking a cup of tea, is the man you recognize to be Joseph. And as soon as you guys enter the room, he stands up and he, like, buttons a suit jacket that he's wearing, like as if he's acting very professional. And he looks at you and he just goes, come in. You guys were investigators from what Johan told me.
I imagine that low-key, I imagine that when he was told that there were visitors at the door, he was just like, oh shit, and just like threw any professional suit that he had on and just darted into this place like, someone give me some tea, I need to look cool.
Absolutely, that is exactly what happened. Good. As soon as someone said that there was private investigators at the door, Joseph was like, fuck! And he just, like, scrambled, but...
He just, like, sat down last minute, like, scrambling and just, like, suddenly all cool and just sip tea.
Pretty much.
Welcome, I've been expecting you.
I've been expecting you.
That's the behind the scenes that you guys don't see.
Yeah, we are, private investigators. We have been researching, a crime across town as of late, and we have come across a lead that we need to ask questions about. It's a long trail, many possible things that we need to just ask about all over, and one of our trails has you as the next step.
He makes a motion for you guys to sit down at the 2 chairs that are prepared for you. Each one of them already has, like, a teacup set in front of it. And he goes, well, of course, anything I can do to help. Sit. And then he, like, does, like, that unbutton his suit jacket before he sits down.
Oh my god. I like the phrase earlier, acts professional.
He buttoned his suit to stand up and then unbuttoned it to sit down. What a freaking weirdo.
He's a weirdo. Just leave it unbuttoned.
It doesn't look cool.
It's not cool.
It's not cool, though. You can't see the bends in my freaking dress shirt. You gotta see it, man. It complements my, non-existent abs.
It shows how much I've been working out.
I pay people to work out for me.
I pay people to go on the bench and bench press 300. I pay them 1 cent for every pound that they can lift. Okay, I sit down, although a bit hesitantly. I'm very uncomfortable with the energy that we've created in the studio today.
Yeah, Irina also sits, and she says, can we ask you some questions about one of your ex-wives?
Well, of course, but may I ask what this is about? And as soon as you guys sit down, there are like 2 servants that come out of nowhere and fill your guys' cup with tea.
I'm gonna roll to see if Mercy is a tea person.
I want to roll to see if I trust this tea. No, wait, I can't. I trust this tea? Is that a thing?
That is up to you.
Is that an No?
No, we can't even do that in this.
I'm used to insight checks. I don't know Monster of the Week. Does it smell weird?
We have to, like, ask questions. I rolled a 3, so I'm just gonna say so-so. I'm into tea. Maybe I haven't been shown the right tea yet.
I was gonna say, do you want me to read you guys your moves that you can do again?
I know them. I just freaking forgot that this isn't D&D.
Yeah.
But no, there is no, like, insight check.
Okay, so it's based on just how we're feeling about it.
Irina's going to pretend to sip it because she trusts no one.
I would say that Mercy kind of eyes her mentor a little bit and kind of copies that motion, kind of lips sealed, trying to sip it, trying not to be rude. She probably got told manners. Not taught, told manners by her parents. So yeah, not trusting this tea. So to ask about which one, right? Which ex-wife?
Yeah, he was asking, he agreed, and then he asked, why, or, like, what brought you guys here. God, I can't even fucking remember the words I just said. I'm pretty sure he asked...
It was what brought us to that. I think.
What?
Yeah, he was, like, asking,
Can I ask why?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Irina's going to lie and say, we are investigating a series of murders.
I'm gonna say this is definitely manipulate someone because you're trying to fool him, so roll plus charm.
+2, 11.
11? Okay, so that's a complete success. So they'll do it for the reason you gave them. So you're asking him to answer questions about a series of murders. And his eyebrows kind of furrow a little bit. And he goes, I'm not sure how I'm connected to anything like that, but I guess anything to help the local law enforcement of this town.
There have been a series of women that looked like your ex-wife that have been killed around the city. We suspect a serial killer.
He, you can see his demeanor kind of drop a little bit as if he's kind of, like, saddened by a memory. And he just goes, You're talking about Cassie, aren't you?
I'm afraid so. Are you still alright to talk about her?
Yes, it was so long ago. And he kind of seems like he takes a moment, he, like, leans back in his chair as if he's, like, it's a sore memory for him. And he goes, What do you need to know about her death? As far as I was aware, she jumped off the bridge.
1 second, I need to
We
write that down.
have to take the notes. Do you know of anything leading up to that?
Well, she always struggled. Her mother died when she was very young, and she never really recovered from that. And her father wasn't the best of men, and she always carried that with her, and it must have gotten too much for her one day. He, like, looks down and he, like, taps the glass in his hand and he goes, She didn't even tell me goodbye.
When was the last time that you saw her?
He kind of thinks about this for a second and he goes, Probably I had seen her about 2 days before I had reported her missing. We shared dinner that night and she didn't seem quite right. She always had her off days, but I didn't think of anything about it. But when I woke up, she was gone. I assumed that she had just went out shopping. She did that when she got upset, but then she didn't come back for 2 days, and then 2 days turned into 2 weeks, and then it turned into a year, and then I heard that they had found a woman in the river, and it fit her description, so I just assumed the worst.
If there are police investigating a woman in the river, Do you quite remember who those officers were?
The new deputy, or whoever was just appointed, I can't even remember the young kid's name. I'm sorry, it was a very rough time for me.
I understand.
I think his name was Tyler. It's whoever just got appointed deputy recently. I think it was his first case he took. And I don't remember the other officers, I'm sorry.
That's understandable. We understand that this is tough. How long ago did this incident take place?
It was about... She's been gone for about 5 years now.
Oh!
Yep.
The wedding photo was taken 5 years ago. Oh no!
Oh, wow.
Man is drowning himself in riches because he has nothing else.
Oh my god, look at us taking deep psychological dives. Wow, okay. Well, as far as I know, I'm not sure if we have much other questions. Do we?
No, I think that will be all. I'm very sorry that we had to interrupt your day to bring this up again.
No, it's fine. If you do manage to catch whoever did this to my Cassie, just give him hell for me. She was such a wonderful girl. She tried to make such an honest man out of me. It obviously didn't work, but she didn't deserve anything that the world gave her. And excuse me, Johan, he'll see you out, but I'm sorry, but I have to go. And he, like, shakily stands up and just leaves with a solemn look on his face.
So this is the part of the job that you were talking about, huh, Irina?
Yes, it is very difficult.
Oh boy. Mercy is screaming on the inside. She doesn't know how to people yet, so she had to muster up all of her fancy talking abilities. Alright, I guess we head out?
Yes. As we are walking out of the mansion, can I, like, look around and see if there's anything of note? Like, in pictures or, like, objects?
Yeah, I'll do that with Irina as well. Just maybe absent-mindedly.
Roll in... I would say this is definitely investigative mystery because you're trying to seek out something, so roll plus sharp.
I got a 6.
Same here.
So,
Is that experience?
well,
Or does that count?
hold on, before either of you mark experience. So normally, traditionally, how Monster of the Week goes, it's one of you guys are saying what you want to do, and then you'll roll for it.
Mm-hmm.
And then say, like, how you got a 6, or how either one of you got a 6, if you guys could roll help out. So, if you roll help out, and you roll between a 7 and a 12, you guys can grant +1 to the other's roll, and it'll bring it up to a mixed success. So then you guys wouldn't have to mark experience, and that means that I don't get a fuck with you.
Okay.
Oh, that's true.
Because
I
when
forgot
you-
that was a step.
When you guys miss rolls, it means that I get I get to actively fuck with you. This isn't just you guys missing a role. I get to make your life a living hell.
That's right.
I prefer make your life harder and not a living hell, yes.
So if you wanted, whoever wants to, you could, instead of rolling investigate a mystery, you could roll help out. You would just have to tell me. I would definitely accept the argument to the fact that you're both looking out for something.
Okay.
Like, you're both keeping your eye out for something. Like, I would definitely accept the argument to the fact that that's definitely helping out, because you'd be able to, like, point out something specific. But it's whoever would want to...
Honestly, I feel like Mercy would be kind of the one to follow.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be more of a helping out kind of thing instead of going out on her own.
Okay. So, roll plus cool.
Oh, I have nothing in that one. That is a straight 9.
9, okay. So your help grants them +1 to the roll, but you also expose yourself to trouble or danger. So that brings your roll up, Irina, to a 7, which brings it to a mixed success, which means on an investigate a mystery, you hold 1 to ask a question. What happened here? What sort of creature is it? What can it do? What can hurt it? Where did it go? What was it going to do? What is being concealed here?
Well, most of these are about monsters. I just want to see if there's anything that he's hiding.
Yeah, I'd say what is being concealed.
What is being concealed here?
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely say would be that question. So, I imagine that you guys head out of the hall, and Irina, they're like, Johan's nowhere to be seen, like that old man that had led you here.
Mm-hmm.
He looks like he had like followed Joseph up the stairs to like kind of investigate like why he looked so upset.
Mm-hmm.
And you're walking by, and you happen just to notice that one of the rooms that you're walking by is what looks like an office for like a really professional looking office. There's like a bunch of papers like strewn about.
Mm-hmm.
And in this office, sitting on the desk, is what looks like an accounting book. And as you do you like go in to investigate kind of this little scene, because this will kind of fall into what is being concealed here.
I mean, I know that we are going to get exposed to danger either way, so might as well get something out of it.
Yep.
So you go in to investigate this office, and you notice this like accounting book, and you just like out of like pure curiosity, you're just like, I wonder what kind of dipshit expenses this guy like spends his money on, because obviously he doesn't make good investments.
The statue.
The statue. And as you're kind of flipping through, you see just like your normal everyday charges. There's like payroll cuts, and there is like large sums of money for like what you can imagine would be like redecorating and new furniture and stuff like that. There's like a large sum about 2 years ago that's labeled for a jewelry store, so you can imagine it's when he remarried his new wife. Mm-hmm. However, in this accounting book is an extremely large sum of money that looks like was added to his account about 5 years ago. And it was added into the account September 3rd. And you remember from looking on Joseph's Facebook page that him and Cassie were married August 12th. So it was not that long after that he married Cassie that this large sum of money suddenly appeared in his account.
Interesting.
And as you were just shutting this to make your way out of the room, you are suddenly, as you look up in the doorway, is Johan standing there just going, "What are you doing in here?"
more investigation work?
That does not give you permission to go where your heart pleases. You are meant to leave. I thought you were competent enough to find yourself to the front door, so if you would kindly leave, you're overstaying your welcome.
Yes,
Right,
we're
right.
very sorry.
And he is going to walk you to the door, and as soon as you guys, as soon as your, ass leaves the door frame, he slams the door behind you enough to, rattle the door frame.
Ow. That was my ass. She walks forward. Ow. Okay. Old man is scary. Okay. Let's get off of the premises before we discuss this anymore.
I agree.
And you guys make your way to the front of the gardens, just easily back through the gate, which whirs to life and shuts behind you. And as you guys steal a glance back towards the house, you see Joseph standing in one of the second-story windows.
Just lurking like a Victorian ghost.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Is he
he's
looking at us?
Yeah, he's watching you, messing with his suit jacket sleeve.
Oh, God.
I ain't afraid of him. I'm rich, too.
Money beats money. Mercy is definitely uncomfortable. She doesn't like a middle-aged man looking at her. Stranger danger. She kind of inches ever so slightly closer to Irina as they walk away.
After they get on the premises, actually, I imagine in the subway, are you good with going to the police station?
The
Police station?
To talk with the deputy?
I thought you said PlayStation.
Yeah, I think you said play. Yeah, that's what I was
He
confused.
said, are you good to going to the PlayStation? I'm like, what?
What? What is happening right now? Yeah, I think that's the next step.
So Irina, as they're on the subway going to the police station, is going to mention, I'd like to see just how rich her family was.
Yeah.
Or how well off she was. Or how well off he was before their marriage.
Yeah. Did we... Was it a nondescript number? Or was this just a glance over and we couldn't get the number from the book?
It was, it was a very fairly large sum of money. It was
Like a phone number kind of large?
Yeah. It was a phone number kind of large, probably upwards in, a good, million or two amount of money.
Okay. Yeah, that would be interesting to know. Why did he get so much money right after that?
I'd also like to know if she really had a poor relationship with her family, or if he was just lying to us.
You're right.
Sometimes people seem upset, and maybe they are upset at just the thought of what they've done. But
Yeah, what they've done.
they can also be very good actors.
This middle-aged man might be a really good actor. Alright. It seems like this is getting a lot more complicated than I thought. Is this usually how all your hunts go?
Not all of them.
It's called mystery.
It's called mystery.
It's called a mystery for a reason.
Because here I was thinking that it was kind of bang boom get the monster done. But now we're getting into
With
money
ghosts,
talk.
with ghosts especially, it's more difficult because you have to know the circumstances of their death. With werewolves and vampires, it is Bang, boom, and done.
I just looked and thought of Irina just doing just finger guns, just bang, boom, done.
What a quote. With vampires and werewolves, it's bang,
Put that
boom,
on a
done.
t-shirt. Bang, boom, and done.
Bang, boom, done.
Oh my god, we can actually merchandise this show now. Well, alright. I seriously didn't figure that we would be dealing with, going to people and telling them about their dead wife. And then also seeing a giant statue with a bulge probably like 4 inches bigger than their 1 inch.
I love the shade. I live for the shade.
I really hope this man's guilty because I want to hate him.
I really want to hate this person.
So you guys are going to the police station?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't take you that long of a subway ride to get to the police station. The police station is right across from the fire department, so it is... I didn't mark it on the map, but that's fine. The police station is right here, and this is the fire department.
Okay.
And so there's that subway station that's right here, that's right next to Mercy's apartment.
Mm-hmm.
So, it doesn't take you that long after your little kind of impromptu conversation to walk there, and, Mercy, I can imagine that you probably just, turn and give your building just a little wave.
Yup. Oh, that's my place.
Hi, home.
Hi, home.
Do I see Nova in there?
You don't see Nova, but her apartment light is on.
Okay. Good.
And it doesn't take much of a trek to get into the police station. It's a pretty large building that's in downtown. And as soon as you guys step inside, Irina, this is a familiar sight to you because you kind of come to this police station quite a few times, just for information on different hunts and stuff like that. Mercy, this is the first time you've been inside the police station because you've never really had a reason to be here before. The building and its decorations are pretty outdated. As soon as you step into the building, it looks like a blast to the past to, the fucking 70s.
Oh my god.
There is, that style of wall where it's, half wood paneling, half drywall that's painted, a stark bright white that has the Brightway Police Department, lettered in, having, metal lettering on the back of the wall of the reception desk as you guys step in. And you can tell that there's been kind of, additions onto this building. Irina, you would know that there has been, 3 stories added on top of this building throughout the years. And each one just gets more modern in design as you go up. But as soon as you step into the building, the receptionist looks up from the counter and she, pops a piece of gum in her mouth and she goes, "What can I do you for, darlings?"
Does Brightway have a relationship with the police?
Yes.
Did the police know about the company, or is it just kind of we'll pay you if you tell our investigators about things?
It's much more of a, we'll stay out of your hair if you stay out of our hair, and we'll collaborate. It's a mutual agreement that they've had. Brightway has definitely paid off a couple of times, just due to, similar some unfortunate circumstances that they needed the police to get the fuck out of the way of. Mm-hmm. But you, Irina, especially, you actually have a pretty good rapport with the, Brightway chief of police.
Okay.
Her name, I can pull it up for you in a second because you're laying on the couch, is Elise.
Mm-hmm.
Elise Dalton is the chief of police.
Thank you. Hi, I'm here to speak with one of your officers. He was a deputy at least 5 years ago. Some sort of Tyler?
Oh, she, like, chews her gum loudly as she, like, types, like, her acrylic nails, like, furiously type on the keyboard. And she goes, yes, Deputy Johnson. Yeah, he's still on duty. I think him and, Chief Dalton, I think they're up in a meeting right now, but you're here to see you're here to see her all the time, so you can just head up, just wait outside her office until they're done. Yeah, you know the way. And she, like, looks down from you and she, like, continues doing what she was doing when you guys first walked in.
Irina reaches into her pocket and pulls out a piece of gum and puts it in front of her.
She looks up and she, like, gladly takes it.
Free gum, sweet.
And she immediately just unwraps it and just shoves it in her mouth.
I love all of these receptionist people in this world. It's like a fucking Nurse Joy situation where they're, like, all the same person, but they're all, like, sisters or cousins.
Receptionists that are completely done with their job give me anxiety in real life, but, like, in fictional stories, it's just like, I feel you, man.
I understand you.
I understand you.
You're my spirit animal. Yeah, I guess we're taking an elevator to go up.
So you're going to go up and wait for them to get done with their meeting.
It's time to elevate.
Elevate.
Time to elevate.
Just some nondescript elevator music, just like some smooth jazz starts playing as you guys ride up the elevator to the 3rd floor. And there isn't a lot of offices since this is a pretty newly added floor to the building. It's pretty much just Elise Dalton, who is chief of police, and Tyler Johnson, who is deputy. Mm-hmm. It's pretty much just their offices that are fully done and constructed. And it looks like there's, like, the start of some more, like, detective offices that share the same floor with them. But, it's pretty much right as the elevator doors open and you step out, does the door for Elise's office swing open. And she, like, comes out, like, shuffling some papers between her hands. And then she, like, looks up when she hears the ding of the elevator with the doors closed behind her. And she goes, "Oh, Irene, I wasn't expecting to see you today. Normally you give me some heads up." And she, like, looks at her watch and she goes, "Can I help you with anything real fast? I have another meeting that I need to get to, but..."
Yeah, I'm sorry to intrude so last minute. I'm looking for Tyler.
Oh!
Johnson.
Yeah, Deputy Johnson.
She's kind of like, she's like, she looks back in her office and she looks back at you and she goes, Tyler's still, he's just finishing up we had a virtual meeting with the, chief of police from the next town over. He's still finishing up, just gathering his notes. You guys should just head on in there. She looks at her watch and she goes, he should be available for, like, the next 30 minutes for if you guys need anything, but I gotta head off. And then she, like, skirts around you guys and just goes down the stairs. And she goes skirt. Skirt.
Alright, we head in there.
Yeah.
And sure enough, true to her word, a tall, kind of more stocky man is there shuffling some papers. Irina, you and Tyler have never had the greatest rapport, mainly just because Tyler has always been a very cut and dry person. He often feels like Brightway is just getting in the way of actual police work. So you guys have never had the greatest rapport, but, like, you guys have also never, like, lashed out at each other. You just normally talking to him is like fucking like biting nails. Or like nails on a chalkboard. And he just kind of he should get that away from my mouth. He looks up at you when you guys enter the room, and he has that same just blank expression on his face, and he just goes, "Oh, what do you need today?"
Hello, Tyler.
Hello, Irina.
I would like to introduce you to my new trainee.
Oh God, there's another one of you.
Hello.
He shuffles his paper as he he mutters that under his breath, and he holds out a formal handshake, and he goes, Deputy Tyler Johnson, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Mercy Campbak. Her hand is still slightly shaky. She still is not the best at giving handshakes.
And he looks between the two of you and he goes, "What can I help you with today?"
Well, we were here to ask about, I'd say, a job you had taken on about 5 years ago
Oh
at the
God.
Green Briar Bridge.
You're gonna have to be more specific than that. There's a lot of things that happen. You guys know the rumors about that bridge, right? It's a hot spot for jumpers, so...
Well, they're more than rumors.
Well, yeah, I'm in the police department, I know that. I'm the one that deals with most of those. I used to deal with a lot of those jobs. When I first started, it was kind of the grunt work, but you're gonna have to narrow it down a little bit for me here.
There was a woman that jumped named
Cassie Start.
Cassie Stark.
Start. His face pretty much just immediately lights up with recognition, and he goes, "Yeah, I remember that one. We found her remains in the bottom of the river. Not so much of a suicide.
Not so much of a suicide. What do you mean?
We had found evidence of foul play. However, we could never pinpoint it down due to the fact that we found her body pretty much near what's the word?
Decomposition?
Yes. We found her body pretty much near the end of decomposition. She'd been in that river for a while. However, she was just sitting at the bottom of the river. Normally, bodies float after they start decomposing because they expel air, but, nope, she was just at the bottom.
Just at the bottom. Was anybody able to get the body up from it?
No, you can tell that, this strikes, a bad nerve with him. And he goes, we got as much as we could, but we still suspect there was just some bones that were left down there that got caught up in the rubble and just got caught up in all the shit that sits at the bottom of the river, but there are some pieces that we missed.
Who did you investigate as suspects?
We questioned the husband. Can't think of what that jackass's name is off the top of my head. But we questioned the husband. We couldn't really pinpoint. We couldn't find anything. As far as it seemed to us, he seemed pretty distraught about her disappearance. He's the one that reported her, I'm pretty sure. And we questioned her dad, that's still up and kicking. And besides that, we had no other connections.
How did her dad seem about it?
Her dad he took it a lot worse than the husband did. That poor man, I was almost certain was gonna die of a heartbreak right then and there.
Alright.
After that poor girl's mother died, that girl became his world. You see him look at his watch and he goes, "Oh fuck. Listen, if you want to go back downstairs, talk to Laura at the front desk. I'm sure you probably met her, lovely person. I think her case file is still downstairs. You're more than welcome to go look at it or go look at the public records or anything like that. I have another meeting I have to get to with Elise, but I gotta go. And he, like, salutes and then, like, just leaves.
Thank you, sir. Okay. Wow.
I'm sure the case file will be much more happy to divulge information.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a piece of paper. Unless the piece of paper talks. I wonder if there's a
I've
world
dealt
where...
with that before.
Wait. Wait, you have?
Yeah, living book. Very weird. Made of human skin.
I don't like the sound of that. I didn't know that was a thing. No cryptid thing ever could prepare me for the statement that you just said. Okay, let's hope that this case file is not made out of skin. Okay.
So you go back down and you talk to who you now know as Laura, who is the receptionist at the front desk, and she pops her gum once again before she, like, stops mid-typing, before she, like, grabs an obnoxiously large key ring from, like, a drawer in her desk, and she gets up and she leads you downstairs into a grated, like, storage room. Like, it has, like, pretty sturdy iron bars that you can tell the shelves are just full of, like, boxes of paperwork, like, spanning back, like, a whole decade.
Oh my god.
And then there's, like, another door that you, Irina, know leads downstairs, which is where they have even case files from even farther back in time. Mm-hmm. But Laura, she opens the door and she, like, tosses her keys onto, like, the table before she walks around. She snakes through before she grabs a box off one of the shelves and she brings it back to the empty table that, like, other detectives sit at to, like, go through case files. And she goes, here it is. This is all the case files that were ruled suicides in the past 10 years. I'm sure the one you're looking for is in here. Let me know if you kids need anything. And she walks back up the stairs.
Thank you. Maybe says that a little too quietly as Laura leaves.
It's reading time.
It's reading
time. Hold on, I have to add Laura to my NPC list, or else I'm gonna forget what her name is. Laura.
I live in the city.
What's up? I'm Laura, and I speak for the trees.
My name's Laura, and I speak for the case files.
So you guys are reading you kind of skim through these papers before you find the case file labeled Cassie Start. And you pull it out and you spin it open. Similar to what Tyler was telling you, there's not a whole lot that's in this case file. Like, it seems... There are some notes from, like, the autopsy that looks that she had, what they suspect there is, like, a minor amount of, like, damage caused to, like, her spine, like, around her neck. And there's, like, some hairline fractures along her, like, skull. But, you can see in a different handwriting someone just chalked it up as her hitting her head when she jumped off the bridge. But, in another set of handwriting, you can see there's, like, a whole bunch of, like, question marks, like, scribbled on the page of the autopsy report. And you can tell that as true to, again, how Tyler has stated, there were a couple bones of hers that were just, they couldn't find in the riverbed. Like, they never were able to find it. And it was, specifically her femur bone and her Yeah, one of her femurs and her pelvis that they couldn't find specifically.
Okay.
I wonder if the microphone can pick up Pip's purring.
I can't hear Pip's purring, so I mean, it's not.
Remember, this
counting.
microphone can pick up the hums of Jesus.
This is true.
If anyone on the listening, if anyone listening can hear a random vibrating noise, that is our cat purring. His name is Pip and he's baby.
He is a baby and likes to cause problems on purpose.
I mean, that's just cats.
Yes.
Cats are bastards, but he's a specific bastard.
He's a special kind of bastard.
Hell yeah. So we have a little monster of the week buddy. I was gonna say D&D buddy, but that's not it.
I mean, he's also a D&D buddy.
He is also a D&D buddy. Okay, so like there were breaks in the neck and the skull?
Yes, there was obvious damage to the spine, right where, like, her neck would be, like, on the, segments. I can't think of what they are. They're, like, C something. But, specifically, there was some damage to her neck, and she had hairline fractures on the back of her head.
Okay. That's not sus. Alright.
So definitely murdered.
Yes, definitely. That sounds way too much like murder.
That sounds like death from one force object.
Yeah, from a blunt force object or something different. Or multiple things. What does it... Do they have the date in which...
And
the possible...
the possible...
quote-unquote suicide was?
With how... There's, like, a specific note section where it's stated in the first set of handwriting that kind of chalked it up to her hitting her head on the bridge. It specifically states in, like, the time of death is a question mark, and in the note section there is, due to the rate of decomposition, not a concrete date is able to be provided, but it is speculated to be about 2 weeks, or not 2 weeks. It's speculated to be about 3 weeks before discoverment. And that would put it around about, the guesstimating would be around, I had to think of the dates.
We're adding dates.
We're adding dates to it. You're adding dates to the things I have jumbled in my brain hole. It puts suspected time of death to be around September 10th. Or not September... Yeah, no, I'm right. September 10th.
Wait, the time of day that they estimate her to have actually died?
Yes. That's the time that they suspect that she would have actually died when falling into the river. They found her about 4 weeks later.
Okay.
So, Joseph got his payday...
A week before.
Exactly a week before.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly a week before. Totally not sus.
Seems pretty sus though, bro.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know what you're thinking, but someone tells me that she died longer before then. Hold on, I'm taking a pit break.
Pit break.
His little kicks. His little feet kicks.
Okay, break over.
Alright, break over. Time to talk about this quote-unquote suicide.
Quote
unquote.
I think we forgot to ask about the dad.
Well, you asked how he reacted.
Yeah, just where he is. Well, I don't think I want to ask another family member about that.
Tyler did mention that he lives up in Hartboro.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Dang, that's my neighborhood.
How does my hair look after I take off the wig?
Amazing.
Fucking flawless.
I'm not raising a toe sucker! Stop it!
I love how our audio is going to be like all nice and somber. I didn't raise a toe sucker!
Mercy, I would definitely say though that because you lived in Hartboro for so long, there was always one house that was just, it was like this old Victorian mansion that you knew a really like an old recluse man always lived in, and you guys only ever saw him when he was like tending to his yard and like his flowers in the front.
If the police question him, wouldn't his name also be in the case file?
Yes.
Yeah.
His name is George Start.
Why did I spell it with a J? You know,
Jorge.
George with a J.
I'm Jorg Start.
Yarg.
But yeah, his name is George Start. At the time of this case file, which was 5 years ago, he was 73 years old.
Oh, so he's old now. And that motherfucker's like retirement home age.
And Mercy, you knew from living in Hartboro, there was always this really old, really sweet man that just handed out flowers to people.
Oh my god. Do we want to question this old man? This old sweet man about his dead daughter? That we were just told almost had a heart attack from heartbreak?
I don't want to.
But we have to.
Unbiased investigation, Mercy.
Right. Unbiased investigation.
I admit that I had a bit of a bias when I said I hope the husband is the guilty party. However, I am separating it from how I treat him and whether or not I decide if he is guilty.
Yes, that's true. I mean, kind of want to knock him down a few inches.
I would like to knock him and his statue down a few inches.
Yes.
A specific part of his statue? A few inches?
Damn it, I should have left a post-it note that said, unrealistic, it's too big.
Just put a little leaf in front of it.
Just take a little leaf.
Inappropriate children live in this neighborhood.
Children are here.
Just the homeowners association, just dick too big, make smaller.
Just go up to the real one.
Just put like a violation right over his crotch.
Dick too big, make small.
When we saw him in person, was it very clear that it was
when he stood up.
emphasized, or like when he stood up, like could we see anything?
No. There was nothing special down there.
Oh boy. This man's got negative length.
It brings the total to women he's made wet with that -1.
-1. I'm somehow more drier than when I came in here.
Yes, he could have done so much better.
Yeah.
Even if he's not the guilty one, she could have done so much better.
You guys are back hearing my lovely voice. How'd you like that episode? It was fun, right? This one was kind of a little bit more on the kind of focusing on the kind of heavy investigation part that Monster of the Week kind of relies on. So not too much action. There was still some quite witty banter. I still love Irina and Mercy's interactions. They're kind of Megan and Hailee are getting into their characters here and stuff like that, but it's really great. They settle into them really well. But I'm here to say thank you so much for listening, and we appreciate you taking your time out of your day to listen to this. If you want more from our dear Irina and Megan, you can find some of her art over on Instagram. Her name over there is otter_sketches. She does some really cool art. She's constantly drawing and everything. I mean, I live with the woman. I know this. She's very proud of it. She's making her own D&D comic based off of old campaign of ours that it was actually the first campaign I ever wrote in DM. So, it's a little bit of a hot mess, but we're kind of working it out to help with the comic. If you want to hear more from Hailee is actually starting up her own over on twitch.tv. I'm stuttering way too much, but it's Hailee Does Things. So if you want to see more from her, head over there, show her some love, show her some support. It's what she really wants to do. She loves hanging out with people. So yeah, I would plug something of my own, but I really don't have much social media. Hopefully at this point, or at least by the next episode, I should have a Twitter up and running for this, so I'll plug that as well. But I've kept you guys for long enough. Have a great day. Bye!